Hello everyone, this is the Crimson Cure, welcoming you to the Crimson Tower, a place where we keep a feminine foot on the neck of the gynocracy, feminism, and black male misandry. So go ahead, pull up a chair, stay a while, and listen.
When I'm training for professional competitions, men and women always ask me for advice. To women, I say push yourself harder than you ever have before and go beyond your comfort zone. Focus on your goals. Men, if I am willing to push myself to become Mr. Olympia in 2022, then I only have one thing to say to you. Bring your A game.
Here we go again.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey, C. Hey, Dominic Man. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. And I know that you guys just saw that awesome commercial, okay? And I would just like to give a warm shout out and just a thank you to Father's Time, who is my sponsor, okay, for A Game. And he is also that gentleman's sponsor. That gentleman in the commercial you just watched is a professional bodybuilder, and his name is Saeed Tajan Kamara, and he is going to be competing for Mr. Olympia next year. Check this out. He only uses A Game. That's it. He doesn't use any other supplement or any of that. It's only A Game. And he's about to compete at the highest level of his profession. So once again, a warm thank you to Father's Time, who sponsors me and who sponsors that wonderful young man who we're going to be pulling for, who's going to be the next Mr. Olympia. Okay, I told you yesterday that this is touching lives, not only here in this space in our online community, but in the real world, in the offline world. Lives are being touched. I told you yesterday that we celebrate black men. We celebrate black men all year round. This is constant, you guys, constant. Ebo Sosa, only A Game. Yeah, he's gonna win. Yeah. Exactly. Not anything else. Okay? Because we're really supporting the health of black men. We have to understand that A Game is not just a run-of-the-mill supplement, or what have you. This is a natural product. And we had fun discussing the male libido, but it addresses the overall health of men, his vitality, his strength. This is a professional bodybuilder. He needs his strength. He needs the energy to do those workouts to maintain himself for competition. He has to do the workouts. He has to recover from the workouts. He can't afford to have all of these crashes and all of these other things that come along with all of these other artificial things that other people might use. He's using A Game. That's it. That's all he needs. It's really all he needs. So we pulling for the brother. We pulling for Brother Saeed to win Mr. Olympia in 2022. Definitely. So guys, can we get the likes up? It's about 23 of you in here, 5 likes. Come on, pretty please, with an A game capsule on top. Can we get the likes to match the viewers? That would be awesome. So, what are we talking about today? Today, we are talking about how men really choose wives. The other day, I uploaded a video entitled, what did I title the dang on video? What's your body count? That's the title of the video. And I had a lot of responses, as I thought that I would. And I had one in particular that I'd like to read to you. A gentleman by the name of Get Out the Matrix. And before I do this, this isn't anything about trying to attack anyone's comments or opinions. However, I do need to be able to address the value system, especially as it pertains to women, right? Because there's a lot of talk about value, high value men. What's a high value woman? You know, what's the worth of a woman? What's the value of a woman? And we need to be able to come away from women only being their sexual market value. If we're talking about an improvement upon women, and we're talking about having women to behave better, have a better value system, then we can't also tell her that her only value is her sexual value. Okay? We're gonna have to get away from that. So today what we're gonna do, I'm gonna read the comment out, and then I'm gonna show you a video about how men actually choose their wives. Okay. So the comment that he made underneath the What's Your Body Count video was, I disagree. A woman's body count is not only 1/5 of her value as far as her marriageability is concerned. Historically and even scripturally, a woman's sexual background is probably 75% or more of her value. The chart you're using is a modern concept. Now, he's saying, I said 1/5. What he's referring to when he's talking about 1/5. Thank you, Malika. Says salute to you, sis. Thank you for guidance on the keto diet. I've lost 30 pounds so far. Your inspiration and advice helped me out a lot. Yay! You lost 30 pounds? Yay! Oh my God. That is so awesome. I hope that you're also doing intermittent fasting, because that'll make it go even faster. But I am so happy. Like, I'm so proud. It feels good to watch that scale go down and know that you found something that doesn't just let you lose weight, but that addresses your overall health. Hopefully you feel better, stronger, right? I'm very, very happy for you, Malika. That's really good news. Really good news. So, going back to the comment, the brother who made the comment, when he's referring to 1/5 of it, what he's referring to is this chart here. He's referring to this chart, which depicts woman's value. This is the Valuable Woman series chart. And as you can see, it's 1 through 5. And sexual market value is 4. And that's why I said it was 1/5 of the value categories or how she is to be assessed in order to determine whether or not a woman is marriage material or not. He seemed to disagree. And he even said not only is her sexual market value of the highest import, that it was historically so and even scripturally so. Well, I am not familiar with what this gentleman's spiritual, connections are, but I know that for me personally, I'm Muslim, and there are several like sayings of the prophet that actually speak differently. So according to my scriptures and the scriptures that I have read, including the Bible, because I grew up with the King James version of the Bible, okay? In my household, it wasn't the Bible if it wasn't the King James version of the Bible, okay? And when it talks about wives, it talks about her qualities that are not sexual. So when we talk about the scriptures, whether you're talking about the Bible or the Quran or possibly any other scripture, because I've read a couple of them, when women are spoken of in terms of what a man should look for in a wife, those scriptures, those holy books, always speak to her spiritual value, and they speak to her internal values. Okay? What kind of woman are you going to bring into your marriage, bring into your family, and have, to birth your children and to, give you legacy and progeny? Okay? Because what she instills in your children isn't her sexual market value. I can guarantee you that. Whatever she instills in your children is going to come off of that personal market value. I can tell you that. So we're not going to say that a woman's value is 75% her sex, and so the other 4 has got to be chalked up between the other 25%. So what you're basically saying is it doesn't matter who she is. It only matters what her sexual value is. I'm going to get into it when we do this video. Because we've been dealing in a society that tells women that her only value is her sexual market value. That is a feminist talking point. That is feminist ideology, because feminism taught women, and because men are socialized in the same society, it also taught men that a woman's value is only in her sex, not in anything else. Dwindling her down to only her vagina. Is it a wonder that women now leverage that because they see it as their only value? We're dealing with women who think that 75, 80, 90% of her value as a woman lies in her sex. Thank you, Bishop. Says salute to the A-Game family. And thank you, Sheep. Thank you, whoever sent me a PayPal. I can't ever see them from the notifications, but thank you so much. And thank you, Mogul Maze, for the Cash App. So we're dealing in a society where women think their only value is between their legs. This is why they're weaponizing it. This is why they leverage it. This is why they're capitalizing off of it. And these are the same, and I'm not speaking directly about this gentleman who left the comment, but I'm saying in this space in general, we've got guys thinking that women's only value is her sex, and then posing the question, what do you bring to the table? Don't say sex. If that's her only value, What do you expect her to bring to the table other than that? Because you've chalked up the rest of her to be split between 25 measly percent. So because that ratio is so small, why would you even be bothered with whatever else she quote unquote brings to the table? Why would you be bothered with whatever she's bringing to the table? Because according to the talking points that are going on in this sector, a woman's value is upwards of 75%, just her sex. And how appealing it is to you. So she doesn't bring anything else to the table. And you should be okay with that, considering that you think she doesn't have anything else to bring to the table anyway. Which is really what that's saying. So in the minds of the people who express that talking point, women don't have any other value, so you actually should be okay with the thought culture. You actually should be okay with thought monkeyism. And I just made that up. You should be okay with thought monkeyism. You really should be. Because if women's value is only sex, why are you worried about what her other values are? Why are you worried? It's such a small percentage of who she is. It's negligible, correct? But we're going to get into this video. Hey, We Kill Dragons. It not only misled the women, Mogul Maids, it misled the men. The men also think women's value is only her sex. Shout out to Sheep Stay Sleep, who said something very important earlier. Men spend money on what they value. What do a lot of men spend money on nowadays? I'll wait. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to share our screen and we're going to watch this video. And the video is it's a little bit less than 10 minutes. So we're going to go through this and we're going to go through it. And I want you to keep the valuable woman chart in mind as we do so. Okay. That's what I'd like for you to do, is to keep it in mind. So we're going to go ahead and play the video. I'm going to be quiet so that you can hear it.
What is wifey material? Well, wifey material is a phrase that is used to describe the qualities of a woman that would be an absolutely great wife. Now, these specific traits vary among men, but there are a few universals that all men seem to agree upon. Trust, honesty, love, a smoking body, great with kids, fun to be around, likes to travel, and all kinds of other stuff are on all kinds of guys' lists that make her wifey material. But as time seems to go on, it seems more and more difficult to find a woman that hits all of the points on your list. Now, something else that's important is it matters your level of expectations. If on your list of qualities that make her wifey material, you have looking like a goddess, cooks like my mother, and reads extensively to expand her mind, you may never find such a woman. And even if you do, maybe she won't be interested in you. However, there are some important qualities that make her wifey material, and in this video, I'm going to be going over some of the most common ones that you should probably be looking for, and I leave it to you to look for the ones that make her unique. So number 1, she knows how to handle life. When you're dating and having fun and in the early stages of a relationship, you may appreciate a damsel in distress who needs you to rescue her. But still, this feature is not something you should be looking for in a wife. When you're looking to start a family with someone, you don't want to be the one to bear all of the responsibility. I recommend looking for a woman who can handle bad news and disappointment. Also, finances are a really good indicator of a woman's maturity level, but we're going to talk about that later. Number 2, something that...
Now, before he moves on to number 2, number 1 was she knows how to handle life. All right. And he said a couple of key things. One is that in the beginning stages, if she's, vulnerable in the damsel and, oh, I need you to do, That's desirable in the beginning stages. Thank you so much, Fit Feminine Over 40. Says women have been conditioned to lead with sex. We haven't been taught to value femininity, especially when it comes to our SMV. Exactly. Hey, Dr. Michelle. So, hey, Sherry. How you doing, Miss Sherry? So, what he said was, in the beginning stages, you know, a man might appreciate the whole damsel in distress thing. And I'm going to tell you kind of why. Men kind of like that because it shows them that the woman doesn't mind hitting a level of vulnerability with them, right? He knows that you don't necessarily just need him to open the jar of pickles, right? He knows that. But he likes it when you're like, babe, can you open? I can't. He likes that because there's a level of vulnerability for you, and there's a level of coming to him when you need something, which are the building blocks of trust. Those are the building blocks of trust. It's showing that you kind of trusting him to resolve problems, which is his forte, right? That's his forte. As a masculine male, his forte is problem solving, and that you would come to him with a problem, even if it's small. Okay? Something small, something easily resolved. This is cute in the beginning. It's not cute if that's just who you are as a woman, just being a damsel in distress all the time. That gets old real quick. So you want to keep it cute and keep it in the beginning and keep it little stuff. But he also said something else. You want a woman that can handle bad news. You want a woman that, and he mentioned maturity. See, in this space, a lot of folk want 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, you know, and I'm just using these ages in general. I'm not speaking about anyone in particular. But my point is that they want these really, really, really young women, these really, really inexperienced at life women, okay, that don't have the wherewithal to truly benefit or help or support a man, especially a man of a particular age. You want a woman that can actually think independently of you while still maintaining the system and order structure that you have presented as the man. So she's able to still follow your leadership, but she does have independent thought. So I explained this before. When you work in a parameter as a woman, a man gives you boundaries and a parameter that you can work within. As long as you don't step outside of that, the things that you do within this parameter that he has set should be okay in general. So you want a woman that's able to think. This speaks to her personal market value. Okay? So her being able to handle life is a part of who she is. That's her personal market value. Not her sexual market value. Her being able to handle life and not spaz out every 10 seconds because stuff isn't going her way. That doesn't have anything to do with her sexual market value. That's her personal market value. We're going to continue.
To keep in mind is that physical aspect does matter, and yes, beauty fades away, but you should still be physically attracted to the woman that you want to make your wife. In the first stages of a relationship, physical beauty is the main element of attraction. In fact, most people say that beauty is the door to personality. You never really get to see a woman's true personality until after you've made the approach to meet her, which that is usually a door that is locked by beauty. Meaning most men don't approach women they don't find attractive. And this doesn't mean standard beauty of society. This means beautiful to you. Everyone has their own quirks. Number 3 is inner.
Before he goes to number 3, he mentioned physical beauty. Now that is sexual market value. That's part of her sexual market value, her physical appeal. Okay? So it's not discounted, which is also something that I said in the video, What's Your Body Count? I never discounted her sexual market value. I just minimized it. I brought it from being this big to this big. It does matter how this woman looks, her physical appeal to you, and he stressed not the society, but beautiful to you. See, too many murmurings in this space about she's got to be an 8, 9, or 10. There are only so many exceptionally beautiful people in the world, period, male or female. Most people are average. That's why it's called an average. Because the average is the majority of something. And then you have the extremes. You have the extremely unattractive and then the extremely attractive. Get the one that's attractive to you. That could be anything. So, sometimes you'll hear these, well, you like BBWs, or you like them too skinny, or you like them too light, or you like them too dark. He can like them any way he wants. Because it's a small part. Right? Because he does need to be attracted to you, right, ladies? He needs to be attracted. So, but that's okay, because as women, we like to be attractive. That's part of who we are as women. We like being attractive. We like doing ourselves up and dolling up and wearing cute little this and cute little that. Like, we like doing that. That's why the beauty and hair and makeup industry is multi-trillion-dollar industries. Duh. Because we like being cute. We know men are visual and they want to see something that is beautiful to them before they talk to you, or else they're not going to talk to you, to find out that you're a valuable woman and that you have all of these other things that you can offer, right? So we're not discounting or saying that sexual market value doesn't have a place or a value. It's included in the 5. It's just not the biggest one. And we're not, we're just switching our focus a little bit. So I'm going to let him continue.
Beauty, also known as personality. Look for a woman who listens to you when you speak and doesn't just nod along. Someone who is understanding. Time and time again, personality psychology research shows how important matching similar traits and interests are, especially in long-term relationships. She should be kind, decent, and generally have a good personality that you like spending time with. Even if you don't know her for that long, if you pay attention to the way that she treats other people, you'll know if she has a good personality. And a quick way to find someone's true personality is to do something physically intensive in the morning. It might sound weird, but to understand what I mean, take your girlfriend or significant other for an early morning bike ride, before the sun even rises. You'll likely see her without any masks. Now, inner beauty is one of the most important traits in a woman that you plan to marry because it doesn't change much whenever you're old and bored with each other. Personality psychology research also shows this. Number 4 is that she sees...
Very important. Inner beauty, and he actually said personality. So it's part of her personal market value. Her inner beauty, who she is. She's kind, she's loving, she's respectful. She's all of these different things. And he even said that's the most important quality because it doesn't change. You get a beautiful woman with a horrible personal market value. The beauty will fade. Her horrible personal market value, unfortunately, will not. She'll be just as ugly on the inside at 22 and at 52. Okay? And by the time she's 52, she won't be hot anymore. So there really won't be any reason for you to stick around. That was personal market value. So right now, we've got 2 for personal market value, 1 for sexual market value. So we're already, the ratio is outweighed, right? Because 2 of the 3 were personal market value.
Sees you for you. Now this is kind of cheesy and cliche, but some women want a guy with money. Some are looking for a 6-pack. And some just want to be temporarily ravished in bed while they figure out their daddy issues. None of these women have the qualities that make her wifey material. They are lacking one important quality. They don't want a real person. They just want all parts of a man that will satisfy their needs. Now, the woman that you're going to marry must see you for your actual behaviors and accept you as a whole, with both good qualities and flaws. Things like, I never liked how you sit at the table, or you promised me you'd get back into shape. Those type of things shouldn't show up in any of your conversations. Now, change is good, but it should happen naturally and because you welcome it, not because your wife is constantly nagging you about it. Number 5 is that she simply makes...
Okay. So number 4 was about she's seeing you for who you are. This woman should be your friend. That's her friendship market value. She shouldn't be, and he even expresses sometimes women just want your money. Sometimes they just want you to, throw them across the room until, like he said, they figure out their daddy issues. They just want parts of a man. They don't want the actual man. Right? And I've talked about this on our channel extensively about women not really wanting the man. They want what the man has, or they want parts of him that benefit her, but not him. They're getting the bag, or they're getting the D, but they're not getting the man. Right? You rarely hear a lot of women talk about getting the man. They get parts of the man. This is her friendship market value. Why is it friendship market value? Because this is the interpersonal relationship, how she sees you. Are you a utility or a person to her? Because she sees her friends as people. Right? So this is why it's friendship market value. Because this is her interpersonal interaction with you and why she's interacting with her man in this manner. Because if she sees you for you, what you do and what you have actually doesn't mean as much. Right, ladies? We have to see the men for who they are. We have to want them for who they are. That creates a more lasting bond. This is why it's in the wife material section and not the hookup section or the situationship section. This is in the marriage section, because what builds those bonds, right? If she's attached to you rather than attached to your money, if the money runs out, she won't run out. Because her attachment was not to what you had or what you could do or what you could give. It was attached to the man. So she wasn't attached to the external 5 of the 10 life values of what he could give her. She was attached to the man, the internal 5, who he is. This is where you get wife material. This is wife material, ladies. Investing your time and energy and femininity and everything into a man when you can identify with and value his internal 5. You create a bond. That is the friendship market value. Okay? I'm going to let him continue.
You a better person. The perfect relationship is when both partners have room to grow and develop their dreams. Just like the last trait, she shouldn't try to change you, but she should change with you. Getting married doesn't mean getting rid of your social and professional lives. A good woman will support your goals and work with you to achieve them. Of course, this also means you need to return the favor. It's your job to have goals and continue to work on yourself as well. A lot of guys will simply give up their dreams and settle whenever they get married, which causes quite a bit of trouble. Number 6.
Okay, so number 5 was she makes you a better person. This is also friendship market value. So we're We're about halfway through, and sexual market value was mentioned one time. Everything else has been either friendship value or personal market value. Okay. Number 5 was she makes you a better person. That's friendship market value. She helps you. She assists you. She's with you on your purpose. She's sharing the vision. Ladies, this is what it means to support. This is what it means to be a helpmeet to your husband. You assist him in his purpose. Remember, I told you, men's purpose is the world. Your purpose is him. So if he's trying to, start a business, see how you can help. I'll tell all my friends about the business you're trying to start, babe. And they'll be your first customers, right? Because I got a lot of friends, they'll support, and we just get that initial support. Or I've got some money to put towards this, right? Or I've got some connections that I think might be useful to you while you try to build this business. I'm going to help. Or I'm going to put in some sweat equity. I'm going to put in some footwork. This is friendship market value. So again, we're not talking about, that has nothing to do with her sexual market value at all. Not at all. Okay.
6 is that she gets along with the ones that you love. Now, our family is important, and it's an important part of our lives. So you don't want a woman who will constantly whine about your sister, upset your mother, or fight with your dad. Yes, mothers can be overprotective, dads can be controlling, and sisters can be annoying. But a wise, mature woman knows this, and she knows her boundaries. Of course, I'm not saying she should be a doormat for your family, but she should find a middle ground by being patient and kind and understanding about negative situations. One of the best quotes is, you can tell a lot about a person by how they treat animals. Now, the same quote goes for human beings, including how your girlfriend or fiance may act towards your family. Number 7.
Now, number 6 was she gets along with the ones you love. So, ladies, this is going to be part of our belonging market value. Can you get along with his family if he has children, his associates, his friends? How well can you belong in his space? Because typically when I talk about belonging market value, ladies, I talk about him entering your space. In this case, since this particular video is directed towards men, he's saying the women come into the men's space, which is actually true, right? So as women, as wives or potential wives, we have to be able to join into his space because we're entering his life. To a degree, he's entering our lives as well, but we're in the submissive position. So we're entering his world. And that belonging market value comes into serious play because we have to be able to get along. We can't come into his life and make ruckus and chaos because nobody likes us, and then we don't like anybody, and then we don't get along, and then because it makes it difficult. He can't take us to the family barbecue because you don't like his mama and his brothers don't like you. So it's immediate tension when you walk into the picnic or the park or whatever. And here he come with her. I don't want him to bring her. That's your belonging market value. If it sucks, then you make his life more difficult because then he has to think about, well, I'm not going to invite my wife to this event, or my wife's got to come to this event, so my mom can't come to this event, or my brothers can't come to this event, or I got to try to keep them apart because they'll get to arguing, that type of thing. So we're at number 6, and it's belonging market value. We still haven't talked about sexual market value again. That was just number 2.
Seven is common values. So opposites attract, but do they stick for long? I know it can be exciting to be with a woman who challenges you at all times, because she's different than you. A lot of guys actually subconsciously look for this. But as life moves on, you will get tired of her having a different opinion on the things that matter the most. And while it's difficult to find a perfect match, you should at least share the same core values. Now, for instance, if you want a lot of kids and a nice cozy home, she should be on board with this goal. This doesn't mean changing what she wants, but it's important to note that you may want different things. And I'm also not talking about the same hobbies or the same dreams. I'm talking about specifically values that are important to both of you. I encourage conversations that cover these important values early. Number 8.
Now, that was a really, really important one. Common values. What is this whole conversation? Talking about values, right? This is also within her personal market value, because we're talking about 2 people who see the world the same way. And I'm glad that he made the distinction between it's not hobbies and goal. It's not like that, because those can change. If I like playing basketball at one point, I might hate it in another couple of years from now, right? We both might, whatever. But what we really want to do is get 2 people together that have a similar worldview. This is what the Bible is talking about when it talks about equally or unequally yoked. Not yoke as in an egg yolk. A yoke. Y-O-K-E, a yoke. Something that you put like on the necks of oxen or horses that carry. Right? A yoke. To equally carry a burden, or to share something equally, like values. So ladies, we need to make sure that the men that we allow to choose us share our values, or we share his values. Coming together with completely different worldviews, completely different thoughts on everything, not gonna work. Because we need to have common ground with our husbands. We need to have something between us that we don't never disagree on. We can disagree about what we gonna have for dinner tonight, but we're not gonna disagree about which God we serving. You understand what I'm saying? We can disagree on which evening gown I need to wear tonight, but we're not going to disagree on how we see the world. We're not disagreeing on that. Nobody got no time to be disagreeing on the fundamentals, the principles, the code, the values. No one has time to be completely different when it comes to core values. Okay.
Is the financial situation. Now, this is a touchy subject, especially in relationships, but it's very important when you're thinking of sharing your life with a woman. Most great romance stories have women believe that the right man will come along and all of their financial troubles will be over. We have lots of stories where a knight in shining armor is rich and handsome, and they fall in love with a maid, or the poor girl who has $1 million smile but is broke. And this doesn't usually fly in the real world. One of the qualities that makes her wifey material is a stable financial situation and a career that may be going somewhere. When and if kids come along, or maybe you want to buy a house together, the financial burden shouldn't just fall all on your shoulders. And on the other hand, I don't recommend seeking a serious relationship if your own finances are a wreck. Get those in order first.
Okay. So the financial situation, that actually falls under marriage market value. A woman's finances, her education, her profession, her leisure, her wealth comes into play in the marriage. Okay? That becomes very important in the marriage. When it's talking about finances, ladies, this is why we can't be living pillar to post waiting on some guy to come along and shower us with gifts and money. You at least, even if you don't have a lot of money yourself, you need to, listen, ladies, you need to be at least good with money. Even if you don't have a lot of money. When I say good with money, I mean you don't need to be a frivolous spender. You don't need to be, forever 13 when it comes to how you think of money. Right? Even if you're working a 9-to-5 or living paycheck to paycheck, that should actually be stable. My finances are stable. I don't live from pillar to post. I'm not constantly worried about my bills and who gonna pay the rent and I don't have that money right now. No. I know where my money's going. I know exactly where my money's going. I know how much I have of it at any given time. I know what my credit score is. I understand how to utilize the money that I have or not utilize it. So even if you're not bringing 6 figures or whatever to the table, you do, ladies, need to bring some financial wherewithal to the table. You cannot be a financial liability. You cannot be a money pit. You can't. Grown women can't afford to be money pits. No one can keep track of the money because you spend it and you don't even know what you spent it on. You just swiping cards. No. When I go shopping, when I have to, get my little Amazon fix, my bills are paid. My car note is paid. My rent is paid. My essentials are paid. I'm not robbing Peter to pay Paul. I'm not somewhere buying shoes and my rent late. Talking about, ooh, girl, I just got to look cute. No, you don't. You're going to look cute. You're going to look real cute because you're going to be outside all the time because you homeless. I'm not living in my friend's living room with a tote bag. Talking about, is we going to the club tonight? Sis, you don't need to go to the club. You need to look for a job. So if you are bringing 6 figures to the table and you're financially literate and you have a good head on your shoulders about money, that's awesome. If you happen not to be one of those women, at the very least, you cannot be a financial liability. That's part of your marriage market value. He cannot be worried about where this money is going in your hands. And if we're going to go back to any sort of scripture or anything spiritual, according to my belief system, the prophet, peace be upon him, was telling his companions about what a wife protects. She protects 2 things primarily: her chastity, her husband's wealth. She protects her chastity, her sexual market value, his wealth, her marriage market value. Okay.
Number 9 is that she calls you on your BS. So I've been told married life is not just milk and honey, and you must make sure that the person standing next to you is strong enough to call you on your BS when it matters. She should be able to point out when you're making a life-altering mistake, and you should be able to trust her advice. For instance, if one day you decide to sell the house and invest the money in an online cryptocurrency business, your wife should be the first one to point out the flaws in your plan. She should be able to explain calmly why she didn't agree and where things could go wrong. Now, of course, this also means you should be able to call her on her BS without having to serve years in hell for your gesture. And lastly, we have number 10.
Now, we're going to talk about number 9. You call her, the men call the women on the BS. Ladies, we can call the men on BS. And I really have to do this video. It's very important. I really have a lot of videos and a lot of content to give you guys. But it's kind of one-on-one how to follow and how not to follow. Just nodding your head, talking about you being submissive. No. That is not good following of your husband's leadership. Just saying, No. He looks to you for feminine counsel. He looks to you for your insight. You better be able to provide it. Especially if you've been with him long enough to understand all of the nuances of his life, how he conducts business, what goes on, how things are run, how they're not run. This isn't a relationship that's 2 months old. This is a relationship that's 10 years old. He needs to be able to come to his wife and make consultation with her and say, hey, baby, I was thinking about doing this. I was thinking about doing that, and what do you think about that? And you need to be competent, ladies, or if you don't know exactly what's going on, be able to ask competent questions, relevant questions that help you give him the insight he needs. Every once in a while, we got to ask a question that helps me formulate the insight. Well, let me ask you this. Such and such, such and such. Is that what's happening? Yeah. That. Well, in that case, and then you give him your insight. Right? This is part of your belonging market value. Just doing like one of these. If he's about to do something extra stupid, you got to pull his coattail to that. That's part of being on his team. That's part of it. And a good leader doesn't become angry with that. He might not like that you disagree with what he's planning to do, but he can accept constructive criticism of his plans. A good leader, ladies, can accept constructive criticism of his plan. Beware of a man that can't ever accept constructive criticism. Not nagging, not disrespectful, not running him down or telling him his ideas are stupid. I'm talking about constructive criticism. I have legit things that I am saying while I critique what's about to happen, because I'm giving you my insight again on how this could very well play out. And I, as your wife, I have to let you know it might not turn out how you think it's going to turn out. There's a high possibility it can go this way, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, the final decision is his. I'm going to ride with him, whatever his decision is. Even if I disagree, that's submission. You've given him your insight. He doesn't take that consultation, although he hears you out, and you support the decision anyway. That's submission, because you've given your voice to it. He has allowed the voice to be given. That's your belonging market value. We're going to let him do the last one.
She's funny to be with. You should be able to go to social events, enjoy evenings with your friends, and generally have a great time together. But it's not just about when you're going out. You should feel great in each other's company, and she should inspire good feelings in you with a nice, warm smile. If you spend a couple full days with someone, you'll know if they check this box. Now, I also want to say before I get a bunch of interesting comments down below that this video may not be targeted for you. This video is for people who are thinking about marrying someone. It's to encourage deep thought before you take a serious action in your life. And I do recommend reading other resources and talking to other people in your life before making a serious commitment like this. Good luck.
Okay. So, I hope you enjoyed that little video. The 10th one, we're going to go over the 10th one. She's funny to be with. It's not necessarily about making you laugh or you making him laugh all the time, ladies, like with jokes. What that really translates into for us is we provide the peace for him. We provide the good dwelling value. Remember, long time ago, I said that wives create in their home a soft landing for their husbands. Soft landing. You're the soft landing. You. When he's around you, he shouldn't feel as though he's still gotta be on guard. He should feel very much trusting of you, where he can lay his guard down and be himself, flaws and all, and he knows that you just enjoy him. And that makes him enjoy you. When he feels appreciated by you. When he feels the warmth of your femininity, that nurturing spirit, that kindness. Don't ever let a man, I don't care how tough your husband is, don't ever let him tell you that he don't want no poo-pooing and tutuing, because yes, he do. Yes, he do. Come here, baby. Ooh, come here. Ooh. How your day was, baby? Oh, it was hard on my baby today. Come here. I'm going to make it better. You want me to make it better? I don't care if he's 6'5", 225 pounds, a lean muscle, lean, mean, masculine machine. He wants some poo-poo and tutu at the end of the day. Don't never let him tell you nothing different. And that is your marriage market value. That is the culmination. Does he want to be with you? And more importantly, can he be without you? See, that's the last question that a man asks himself before he proposes to that woman. Do I want to live without her? And if the answer is no, I don't want to live without her, he gonna ask you. Thank you, C said, give up the poo-poo and tutu. I guess y'all saying it. Thank you, Revelator, for the cash out. If he asks himself the question, Do I want to live without her? And he think about how good his life would be without you. You are not getting married to that man. He think about, if I lose her today, I can get over that. I'll be all right. I mean, I'll be sour for like an hour. I'll be sour for an hour. And then if I call Vanessa, I won't be sour no more. Shoot, I asked her to marry you. She got on my nerve just yesterday. Made me think back. I ain't want to be over here. I'm not doing this with her. I'm not doing this with her. Matter of fact, I'm not doing this with her. But if he think to himself, I got so many good times with her. She just make me feel so good. I mean, yeah, we had our little tiff or whatever, but she don't even be tripping like that though. I mean, yeah, once in a while we have a little something, but she don't be disrespectful though. She don't demean me. She doesn't degrade me. She doesn't emasculate me. She don't do none of that stuff. And then he'll think about the things that's most important. And those things will be in the realm of your personal market value, your belonging market value, your friendship market value. He thinking about that stuff. Man, she loves my children. They not even her kids. She love them. They get along with her so well. And she treats them so well. And my mama like her, and my daddy like her. And my daddy don't like nobody. That's her belonging market value, strong. Then he'll think about, and she is real kind. I remember that time, them people was down on it real bad. And I was mad. I was trying to figure out where that $100 went. And then when she told me she had gave it to a homeless man, and then that situation, that kind of made me fall in love with her. Man, okay. Then think about her friendship market value. I remember this happened to me, man. I lost so much that I was so mad. I just didn't know how I was going to recover that money. I didn't know how I was going to recover in my business. And she just stood by me like a soldier. She was just like a rock. And she just kept telling me it was okay. And she just kept, doing things to try to help me. She was just trying to help me. She always got my back. She always in my corner. I mean, yeah, I don't like this thing about her, but you don't like everything. These are the thought patterns in his head. You don't like everything. But do the good outweigh the bad, though? Yeah, by a lot, actually. When she get on my nerve, I'll just tune her out. I ain't got to listen to that. I actually don't got to listen to that. She'll be all right. If I just act like she ain't talking, she'll be all right. That's how I deal with that. And if he think about all of them things, and he think about the kind of woman you are, and all of them boxes get checked, it ain't but 5 boxes to check, ladies. They heavy boxes now, but it's 5 of them. And then when he do think about your sexual market value, I have never questioned her. She has never given me reason to be suspicious of her. I pop up at her job unannounced. I'll never catch her grinning and skinning in no man face. She ain't never nowhere where she ain't supposed to be. She don't have missing time and funny little things that she doing. I will pull up on her randomly, and she be where she says she at, doing what she says she doing. You gonna get proposed to. Point blank. We mentioned sexual market value one time in 10. When men look for women, when they look for wives, they're not just looking at her sexual market value. They're looking at all them other things. Because if a man is thinking, then he has foresight All of them other things affect the future of the relationship, not just how hot he is right now. When you focus, talking about 75% and 80% and 90% of a woman's value is her sexual market value, that means you leading with your ding dong. You're not looking for a wife. You're looking for an escort. Go get her. They'll give you one according to how much money you can pay. It ain't tricking if you got it. So when we talk about women's value here on the Crimson Cure, we are not going to simply relegate it to just her sexual market value. I have the audacity to say that women have more value than what is between her legs. Yes, we do. And if you want better women, you're going to have to let me do my work. Let me do my work with these ladies. We trying to fix the issue, not be right. What's more important, fixing the issue or being right? Focusing, talking about some SMV is 75% and that's according to the scriptures. Knock it off. According to whose scripture? The manosphere scriptures? Them getting corrupted. We're going to talk about women's value in totality around here. Because if you want women that only focus on her SMV, you got plenty to choose from. All you got to do, close your eyes and throw a rock, you hit one. But if you want women better, then we have to think of ourselves as more than sexual objects. And so that we won't just try to leverage our sex or our sexual market value. We won't just try to leverage that to get stuff we want. We'll be able to leverage the whole package. I don't just come with good sexual market value. I come with good personal market value. I come with good belonging market value. I come with good friendship market value. I'm a whole package. I'm a package for real. As long as sexual market value is the hyper focus, you wouldn't know a lioness if she bit you. You would pass her up because you would think something was wrong with her. Assalamu alaikum, Great Britain. Say, appreciate this. Let me read these super chats. Let's see. Bishop, I said thanks. Fit Feminine 40, I said thank you. Eric Dedman said this really should be taught in high school and college. I wish I would have known more about PMV when I was younger. It would have prevented a lot of headaches and drama. We live and learn. Exactly. It's me, C said, give up the poo-poo and tutu. Exactly, sis. Dallas Cowboys, thank you so much. Great Britain, thank you so much. So I am going to go ahead and wrap this up. I've been here for more than an hour. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. But what I want you guys to do is sound off in the comment section. Okay? What do you think? Are we still thinking that sexual market value is the biggest one we should be concerned about? Or are we putting this stuff more into context? Or just share your thoughts. I definitely want to hear more from all of you. Okay? And this show has been brought to you by our sponsor, A-Game. Okay? A-Game is a natural male herbal solution. It addresses health, vitality, strength, mental focus, and libido, and is also the proud sponsor of the young man that we saw in the commercial in the beginning of this video, Brother Saeed Tajan Kamara, who is going to compete for Mr. Olympia in 2022, and he only uses A game. Only A game. And he's at the top of his field. All right. And so with that being said, I'm going to start wrapping this up and get on out of here. Thank everyone for coming through, for contributing, for chatting with me today. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another CrimsonCure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.